All right, good afternoon. Welcome to the afternoon experiment. My name is Emanuel Livingston. Oh, my battery about to die. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I appreciate everybody for checking in. You know how we do, or at least how I do. Got to go down and say hello to everybody. Terry Anderson, representing downtown. Good afternoon. Robert Willis. What's up? Seabreeze, representing Boston. But Seabreeze is checking out Wyatt because my man Ron is on. I'm sure he's saying some really eloquent and very true and hard-hitting stuff. DeWanda in the house. Good afternoon, DeWanda. Good afternoon. We got Preston in the house. Preston's representing Avondale. Good afternoon, Preston. This might be a short show today. I'm not saying with 100% certainty that it will be. It'll depend on how I feel. I don't feel great. I don't feel bad. But I don't feel great like that energy I normally have. I don't feel that energy that I normally feel. So if I cut this show short, y'all didn't do nothing wrong. At least I hope y'all didn't do nothing wrong to make me cut the show short. I can't even get it out. See what I'm saying? My energy just ain't there today. But I hope everybody's doing good. I hope everybody's doing good as people hopefully come in. Get to a few quick things. What? Seabree says she's back. Thank you for coming back. So apparently Kamala Harris has picked picked a running mate. What's his name? Tim Walz? Is that his name? Tim Walz from Minnesota. I don't know much, if anything, about Tim from Minnesota. There's no ifs, no ands, no buts. In 2024, hold on. I mean to leave that on. Sorry. That's why I couldn't hear. It don't matter. In 2024 America, Dwayne, good afternoon. He's representing Mount Airy. 2024 America, you still got to have a white man on the ticket. And I'm sorry, what's his name? Buttigieg. I'm sorry to the dude that was the mayor in some town in Indiana. It's got to be a straight white man. Sorry, it's 2024. She could not put you on the ticket. You can't have a ticket and think it's going to be successful. Good afternoon, Diane. And think it's going to be successful in 2024. Like two black women? No. A black woman and a black man, or Indian, however you want to categorize her. If you believe she's only Indian and then she turned black, or if you understand that, she's both. You can't have that and a white woman even. You can't do it. This is America. 2024. You still got to have a white man on the ticket. A straight white man on the ticket. It's almost a rule. It's not a written rule, but it's understood. And that's what she did. She's not, her team, they're not stupid. They're not stupid. They understand that. And so I'm pretty sure they told Pete, you going to travel around, you're going to be a surrogate, because he does a good job on the shows when he's talking about her, like the Sunday morning shows, and, you see him on CNN, you see him on Fox, you see him on, the more conservative shows. He does a really good job of articulating the administration's positions, defending the things that they've done or whatever the case may be. He does a really good job of that. But I'm certain they told him early on, like, bro, you gay. You married to a dude. No. Come on, it can't happen. You might be great, but this can't happen. This can't happen. So she's picked her candidate. Now, of course, the question everyone's asking, which I think we all know, is Kamala Harris and Donald Trump actually gonna debate? That's the next issue, that we'll be talking about. I mean, that we'll get through the convention, all that kind of stuff. But now the question is, will they actually debate? And realistically, why won't he debate her? Why won't he debate her? I mean, I know people like, oh, he's scared. I don't know if that's the case. Hillary was a smart woman. He debated her. I mean, if you want to call what he did debating, he bullied her and everything, and she fell for it. So maybe the thing is, he can't bully Kamala. He don't feel like he could effectively bully Kamala. So he doesn't really have a strategy. I'm sorry, Brent, I see you representing Dallas, Texas. Nat, I see you. Good afternoon, representing the West Side. Diane, good afternoon. Regina, representing Madisonville, good afternoon. Hold on, I missed somebody, and I don't like missing people. Pat, I don't know if I said Pat. I think I said Pat. Pat Rogers, good afternoon. Brent says another debate for Trump would be disastrous. Yeah, I think it will. I want to see it. But I'll be honest, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think we're going to see a Trump-Harris debate, which is kind of sad. It's kind of sad. I mean, he did this, and I think if I were a Republican, I would have been upset with him. Carolyn, good afternoon, representing East Walnut Hills. I think if I were a Republican, I would have been upset with him, because he played them and didn't participate in the Republican primary debates. So they all debated to see basically who was going to be the vice presidential candidate, and then he didn't pick none of them. Pamela Kinney, representing North Avondale, good afternoon. Thanks for checking out the show. So I think it makes me sad is too strong of a word. It doesn't make me sad. But it's unfortunate that we won't get an opportunity to see those two debate. I mean, I guess unless she shows up to Fox, which is probably not going to happen. And I think that there's a good chance that if she decided, I'll show up to Fox and I'll debate him on Fox on September the 4th, he'd pull out. I think it's a good chance that he would do that, because he just doesn't want to debate her. Diane says Trump and his people are all about name calling, no substance at all. Carolyn said Ron over on Wyatt going ham, bacon, and spam. Ben says, hey, he listening in Northeast Loveland. All right, Loveland in the house. Can't beat that. I still got Wyatt on the screen. I don't have of course I don't have the volume up, otherwise you'd hear it. But yeah, this whole thing is gonna be interesting moving forward. Will we get a vice presidential debate? Will we get a vice presidential debate? Hold on, let's say he is. Hold on, let me see.
I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you being on, and thanks for engaging with us.
Oh, I missed it.
All right, Ron. That's Ron. With his crazy ass. I don't know what he was talking about.
Okay, I missed it. I like Ron. Ron is my dude. I like it when he come in and go crazy. I like it. I like his passion. I don't like the tactics. But I like the passion. What was that? Will we get a vice presidential debate? I don't think we will. I don't think we will get a vice presidential debate either. I think it's we've seen it. We're gonna see, what was it? Who was it just said he liked to call names and no stuff? Diane Wright. We're gonna get him now. I'm not big on this. If you don't say her name right, then you know what I'm saying, you're necessarily doing it intentionally to blah blah blah. Some people just don't pronounce it right. Some people do it on purpose. Like, was it what's his name? Drop Squad called in, and he actually accidentally said her name right and then corrected himself to say it wrong. So some people do mispronounce her name on purpose, but it don't matter. At least to me. Maybe it matters to her. Don't matter to me. If you're intentionally pronouncing her name wrong, then you already made up your mind. The people who like that, they already made up their mind. There's nothing that anybody can do to change their mind, which is the majority of the electorate, I believe. The majority of the electorate, mind made up. So the fight isn't for me. You know what I'm saying? They're not fighting for my vote. I'm being entertained by some of the stuff that I'm seeing. I'm actually being quite discouraged by some of the stuff I'm seeing. But they're not fighting for my vote. They're fighting for, there's a segment of the electorate who I believe they're some of them not very educated. We've had conversations about, here's what I want the president to do. And it's things that the president does not have the authority to do. Like, literally couldn't do if he and or she wanted to. You have, in this world, there are gullible people. And those gullible people can be moved one way or the other. And some of it all depends on who do they respect? Who do they listen to? And, you know, how much, because even some of the gullible people, facts don't matter. For some of them, facts don't matter. They don't believe a lot of the facts. If you tell them something factual, they don't believe you. They think you making stuff up. So for some of them, facts don't matter. They're just out there kind of blowing in the wind. And so they're trying to, the fight is for those people. Can I sway some to my side? Can I sway some to the other side? The fight on Kamala's part is to convince people who might not even necessarily want to vote for her, but don't want to see Trump as the president, to actually get out and vote. Convince, some of those gullible people that Trump is an actual danger to democracy, and then convince them to come out and vote. Again, Trump, his people, they're on the other side. They're trying to convince some people, if you're not for me, just stay home and don't vote. If you're not for me, then just stay home and don't vote. And it didn't dawn on me. They did that. Hold on, let me say some more hellos because a number of people have come in. Brenda, representing Fairfield, good afternoon. Phyllis, good afternoon, Phyllis. Reese Mooney in the house. Good afternoon, Reese. I already said Phyllis. Lewis, CK, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Axe Black says, I was sure Trump would pick Tim Scott. Maria in the house, North Cottage Hill, good afternoon. Dina in the house. Dina was trying to start stuff earlier. Dina always be trying to start stuff. I can't say what Dina always trying to do. And she wasn't really trying to start stuff. Again, I like having fun. I like laughing. I like picking with people. So if I say something like that, for whatever reason, now I have to clarify stuff like that. Like, there was a time when I could say something like that. There was a time when I could say Dina was trying to start stuff earlier, and everybody realized, like, he kind of picking with Dina. Maybe Dina said something that he thought was funny or, you know, whatever, and everybody rolled with it. But for whatever reason now, I have to be very careful to make sure people understand I'm not beefing with Dina. I'm just teasing Dina or, you know, whoever I go, I don't like this. I don't like this stuff. I don't like this. I like to just say what I say. But, you know, you know how people are. You know how people are. But Dina in the house, good afternoon, Dina. Let me see, we got, I don't know what that is. Carcia? Is it Carcia? I'm not sure what that is. I apologize. I'm butchering your name. I apologize. But good afternoon. Thank you for joining the show. Tria, representing Columbia Township. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Preston says, I don't know about any debates, but it seems they'll get their war. Well, yeah. Yeah. But back to what I was saying about them trying to convince people to not vote. That's the new move, but it's not new. It's not new. I ran across this. I got this clip from Young Turks. And I ran across this clip from the Young Turks. And this was a clip from, 2016 when he won. And I realized, he likes to play the greatest hits. That's really what he does. It worked in 2016. It'll work in 2020. Well, I'm going to act like it worked in 2020, so I'm going to use it again in 2024. He likes to play the greatest hits. And so a part of his strategy, along with some of his people, some of his followers, some of his supporters, and, some black people have taken on the mantle as well. Don't vote. I'm not voting. It don't matter who get elected. Don't be out there wasting your time voting. Let's not fight each other about who's going to be the president, and let's not do this and let's not do that. None of that stuff really affects us anyway, so let's not even be concerned about it. And it didn't dawn on me, but that was a part of his strategy in 2016. And then once he won, he actually, at one of his thank you rallies, he thanked black people for not voting. And I was like, what? Yes. He thanked black people for not coming out to vote. See, when y'all be thinking I be making this stuff up, you don't have to be super amazing, insightful guy to pick up on some of this stuff. You just watch it and you pick up on it. And every once in a while, you run across something and be like, I know that, thank you, that proves my point. Or at least, maybe it don't prove my point, but it supports my point. It supports my point. And, Nat says, all the Trumpsters been quiet lately besides Ron. Because they're trying to work out a strategy. You can't be mad at somebody for trying. I'm running. I want to win. So let's hold on, relax. Let's work out a strategy. They've tried a few. Ooh, she laughs. Ooh, that's bad. Laughing is like normal. Normal people laugh. If something's funny, normal people laugh. It's not. So they tried. Ooh, she laughed. I saw where on Fox they tried. She's a hugger. The hugger in chief. I was like, what am I supposed to be upset about? Because they showed clips of her greeting people, hugging them. And I'm like, what am I supposed to be upset? Like, sometimes I get lost. Sometimes I don't understand why people are upset. So y'all mad because a person greets people with a hug. I'm supposed to not vote for her because she hugs people, or because she laughs, or because her name is difficult to pronounce, or because, whatever nonsensical thing they come up with. I'm supposed to, so they fall back, they're regrouping. In the process of regrouping, and if you watch the Watch the black independents. Watch the black Republicans, the black conservatives. I always hesitate to say black conservatives because I think I'm a conservative. I think I'm a conservative. So that's why I hesitate when I say black conservatives. I don't fall into that category, but when I say it, you know what I mean. In the meantime, as they develop a strategy, the black people who support Trump are trying to convince you not to vote. Because they believe that that's a strategy that helped them. Daryl says, I saw a Fox News clip where he said, if you're a man and you vote for a woman, then you're not a man. He was going in on the white dudes for Kamala. They're trying. They are trying their best. Instead of just talking about what they want to do. Which, look, the same thing could be said for Democrats. I do think, they talk a little more about maybe what they want to do or whatever, but it's all the same game. It's all the same game. But all they really do is they're trying to come up with little nonsensical things. Little nonsensical things to do. And it's not, like I said, like she laughs and she hugs and, she's a woman. Stuff like that. But one of their goals is to get you to not vote. If you don't believe me, this is from the Young Turks, and they got video from the Washington Post. But this was 2016 when he won. And this is one of the things that they believe will be a winning strategy. And they seem to be enlisting. I'm not on their email list, okay? But they send out emails. I'm not on the list. But they send out emails kind of with talking points, strategy, and all of that kind of stuff. And of course, asking for money. They all do that. But that's what they do. And I'm sure that in one of those things that went out to Blacks for Trump or something like that, there was probably a memo telling the black people for Trump to try to convince black people, just don't show up. Just don't show up. This is Trump, 2016, maybe 2017, but 2016, 2017, on his thank you tour for being elected. Again, it's the Young Turks. They have video from the Washington Post.
Now we're going to bring you Donald Trump talking about that and gloating that, the African Americans didn't show up and that's why I won. Watch for yourself.
And the African American community was great to us. They came through big league. And frankly, if they had any doubt, they didn't vote. And that was almost as good because a lot of people didn't show up because they felt good about me.
Okay, something happened to the end of the video. But, yeah, they didn't show up. And that's what they want. That's the plan. That's why, again, if you listen, I'm going to say up and down the dial because ain't no dial on the internet. But if you listen to that entire spectrum, you're going to be hearing a lot more of these outspoken pro-Trump people telling black people, don't go vote. Don't go vote. Just stay home. Don't go vote. Just stay home. So, again, all I'm saying is understand the strategy. And that's why, look, it is. It's up to Kamala Harris. It's up to the Democrats. It's up to Trump and Republicans. You got to energize your base. You got to do something. Tell them something. Show them something. Do something to make people want to get up, get out, and vote for you. Because I could sit here like, yeah, I would rather see Kamala in office than Trump. But if I don't get up and vote, it's not a vote for Trump. But it shorts the person that I want to see in office from voting. And that's why I believe, he says it's not the case, but that's why you hear, I don't want to say no names, that's why you hear certain people who used to call here cussing me out, talking about how they're going to vote for Donald Trump. Now they're saying, oh, I'm just not going to vote. I remember I asked somebody the other day, like, who do you believe the candidate that God wants in office? A person who considers themselves a spiritual person. Who do you think God wants in office? And that person said Donald Trump. Now you want to see God's will in the earth. And you're a spiritual person. And you support Donald Trump and his policies, but just out of nowhere, you're not going to vote. Y'all know you don't always have to tell somebody to do something to try to convince them to do it. You can just say that this is what smart people do. And there are people who that will convince not to do, especially people who are unsure about, you know what I'm saying, their level of intelligence or whatever. So that it's that whole, what was the little thing? Like the king ain't got no clothes on. The king is walking down the street butt naked or whatever. The old thing they used to tell, because they never said butt naked because we was kids and they wouldn't say butt naked to the kids. But what was it? The king's new clothes or whatever. And they convinced the king that, you know, like, oh, this is a beautiful outfit. And he like, I can't see that. And they like, I can't remember the whole thing, but the basic gist of it was, well, only, you know, stupid people can't see this. And he like, oh, I do see it. It's beautiful. And the word spread that if you don't see it, you ain't smart. So now everybody like, oh man, look at that. Look at that outfit. It's beautiful. Oh, that outfit is beautiful. Until some little kid was like, nah, the king is butt naked. What are we talking about? And then everybody was like, okay, yeah, the king is naked. The emperor's new clothes. I had the story close. It's that same mentality. It's that same mentality. Smart people staying home and they not gonna vote. And you unsure, so you like, I heard so-and-so say the smart people ain't gonna vote. Like, oh my God, I like this guy. He's really smart. He's really deep. He talks really proper. And, you know, he does all of this stuff. I like this guy. And then that guy says, I'm not voting. Because I understand the game that they trying to play. They don't want to give us nothing and, you know, so on and so forth. And then you watching it and you gullible. And so you like, oh, yeah, if he not voting, I'm not voting. Because, yeah, I realize the game. I see the game. And you can always then fall back. I never told nobody to not vote. I never said that anybody shouldn't vote. I never said anything like that. I said, I'm not voting. But we know, we're aware of that. That's not a new phenomenon. I just want people, because, you know, there's one or two gullible people who watch, who might fall for that stuff. You realize what you're falling for. What else is going on? Well, let me Again, I don't know much about Tim Walz. I have to look at his name every time because it's not in my consciousness yet. I don't know much about Tim Walz. Seabree says, do you really think Ron is playing 4D chess like that? Well, first, I don't know that it's 4D chess. I think there are people, I'm not going to say Ron, I didn't say anybody's name. So I'm not talking about Ron. But there are people who they hear stuff and they kind of take orders. Look, it's like Democrats now, if you listen, their new buzzword, well, it ain't new anymore, but their buzzword now is weird. He's weird. That's weird. Those Republicans are weird. That's a weird way of looking at this. That's a weird way of acting. That's weird. This is weird. That's weird. I was watching, I want to say Nina Simone, but I think that might be a singer. I can't remember the lady from out of, I believe, Cleveland. The get your hands out my drawers lady. What's her name? I don't want to be disrespectful to her and say her name wrong. It's Nina. I can't. I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank. But I was watching. She was on a panel on CNN. Nina Turner, thank you, Nina Turner. She was on a panel on CNN. Abby Phillips, who she's coming along. She's coming along. I remember when she was a correspondent, and I was like, you know what? They're gonna pick her up and they're gonna give her a show. And I remember they had her sitting in on all these panels, and I was like, they're trying to get her ready. Well, she has a show now, and she's decent. She could be a little better. Don't ask me how and all that kind of stuff. They have experts. They don't need my opinion. She could be a little better, but she is good. Anyway, she was on her show, and they were talking about J.D. Vance. And no one had used the word. They used some words about J.D. Vance, Shady Vance, and, different things. But they came to Nina Turner, and Nina Turner began to say whatever her statement was. And then she kind of paused because she forgot to say weird. And it was like she forced the word weird into the sentence because that's their catch thing now. And I'm sure they test all of this stuff, and I'm certain it's testing well. Like, oh, do you think the Republicans are weird? And does that make you want to vote for them? And, they focus group all of this stuff, and they're like, that is weird. And yeah, now that you mention it, and they're like, okay, this is resonating with people, so keep calling Republicans weird. Make sure that when you're on the news, when you're doing an interview, when you do a call-in, when you're doing a speech, make sure you throw in the term weird a few times. If you hadn't noticed that, you will now, because it's so prevalent. It is so prevalent. But, so they all have their strategies, and they pick up on them from other people. So are these guys playing these guys who you might not think is all that bright, which, by the way, I think Ron D is very intelligent. I think Ron is a very intelligent guy. But you might not think that they're all that bright. They don't have to play 4D chess. They just have to listen to what they're being told to do. And again, this is not new. It's not new that campaigns kind of put out talking points. And, maybe even if it's not written, I don't know how this became written. I don't know. That's typing. Written, this would be written. But very few people do this anymore. Everything is this. So even if it's not written or printed or, something like that, the message gets passed and it gets understood. Democrats call Republicans weird. All right. Republicans try to convince black people to not vote. Gotcha. Preston says, no, the new word or talking point from the left is threat to democracy. No, that's not new. That's not new, and that's actual. And I don't even know how anybody could not see that as actual. The man said, if you elect me, you'll never have to vote again. What else would you call that? That is a threat to democracy. So I think that's been going on. That's not new. Weird is relatively new compared to those. Ron.
Well, what is my strategy again? What's my talking point?
Try to convince black people to not show up to vote.
Why would I do that?
Because you believe that most black people vote Democrat. You want to see the Republican get in office. So if black people don't show up to vote, that lowers the number of votes that the Democrat will have, which makes the hurdle smaller for Trump to win.
So I got all that power, right?
You, like everybody else, has a degree of influence. Yes.
Yeah. So that's absolutely what I'm doing, right?
That's absolutely what I believe you're doing. Yes.
Well, I'll tell everybody, please vote. I'm not voting for president.
See there?
Because I didn't like.
See what he just did? That's what they call, or at least that's what I call, plausible deniability.
Can I finish what I'm saying?
You're right. I should not have interrupted you. Go ahead.
I mean, I'm just saying, I'm not telling. I didn't tell anybody not to vote.
I told y'all they'd say that.
And I said multiple times that because he picked J.D. Vance for a running mate, that I was not going to vote for Trump. I'm not going to vote in the presidential election. I'm going to vote everywhere else, but I'm not going to vote for president because he picked J.D. Vance for his running mate.
That's reasonable.
I'm not doing it because of different purposes, but because of spiritual purposes also.
But spiritually, you believe that Trump is the candidate that God wants in office, right?
No.
That's what you said the other day.
No. You said, do I believe versus Kamala is Trump the God candidate?
No. That's not what I said. That wasn't the question that I asked. I just said, do you believe he's the God candidate? And you said you did.
Yeah, you said, was he the God candidate? And that implies versus the other candidate.
No, that just implies the God candidate. I don't believe either of them is the God candidate.
Okay.
You did.
Okay. And to explain why I said he was a God candidate.
All right.
And of course, you know why I said he was a God candidate, because everything that you said that you were not for, that Kamala was for, I said that I was not for the same things, and it was because of abortion and the transgender and all that other stuff, and that's why I said he was the God candidate. I didn't say God picked him as a candidate. I didn't say he was anointed the candidate or nothing like that. I said he was a God candidate for me because of those issues.
But those issues aren't very important anymore.
No, those issues are not important for you.
I'm asking you. That was a question. You're saying that those issues were very important to you, and that's why you were going to vote for Trump. Are those issues still important?
And they are.
But you're not going to vote on the issues that you believe are the most important.
No. The most important issue is myself and what God has put in me to do. See, and it's a trip. I
Wait,
look
so
with a
God told you to
spiritual
not
eye.
vote?
Y'all. No. I didn't say God
I'm
told me to not
asking.
vote.
These are
I
questions.
look with a spiritual eye. I look with a spiritual eye, and I look forward. And
Okay, well,
I'm not voting
may I
for
ask you,
president.
what did you see spiritually that changed your mind about voting?
The lips of wisdom are closed, except to the ears of understanding. It ain't no sense in me trying to explain. It ain't the lips of wisdom are closed, except to the ears of understanding. You wouldn't understand.
Oh.
You don't take the time to understand. Because if you did take the time to understand, you being a PK, you would understand exactly where I was coming from.
Well, you didn't tell me, so
but
it's difficult to understand something
no,
that's not
no,
said.
Yeah, but if you use a spiritual eye, you would already see what I see. So I mean, again,
I thought I was using the spiritual eye when I was against Trump, and you were using the spiritual eye when you were for him.
Evidently you are not. Evidently you are not.
You're right.
And then I don't have no qualms with that. To each his own.
What you
But,
got against J.D.
To
Vance?
say, but to say that I'm trying to trick somebody or that to imply.
I didn't say you.
Imply
I didn't
that
say
I was
you.
trying-
Although, in all honesty, I do think you are, but I never said you.
That was a question. Yeah. I said to imply that I was trying to trick somebody or anything like that. I'm doing this. I'm doing this for me. I ain't never had to vote for nobody else. I ain't cast my vote on behalf of nobody else. I've cast my vote since I was 18, all by myself for myself.
What do you have against J.D. Vance?
It's just nah. I won't discuss that.
Oh.
But
Because you don't want to say nothing negative
I-
about the actual ticket. Because that might convince some people to not vote for Trump.
well, sort of.
Right. Right. See that's hold on. Let me.
But see, I can't insinuate or push anything on on J.D. Vance or anything, or to the other people that are voters, like you said. I'm not trying to push anything for nobody. This is my own personal decision, and you keep trying to say I'm tricking somebody and all that other little bullshit. Like I said,
I believe you are.
About a month ago, you imply all these things about me, but you're just dishonest. You're just dishonest.
Well, again, Ron, don't take it so personal. It's not just you. There's a whole, I'm gonna call it, there's a whole blackosphere out there, a whole conservative blackosphere out there that's doing the same thing.
But me, I don't care about nobody else but me.
Well, that's unfortunate.
I don't care about nobody.
You don't care about nobody but you?
I don't care about nobody else in this situation. But me, I don't care about what you say about anybody else. When it comes to this, I'm talking about what you're saying and implying about me.
But you did just affirm.
Other people got to take up for themselves.
Right.
And other black folk ain't listening to your foolishness. See, if they listen to your foolishness and they ain't calling to speak up for themselves, that's on them.
That is.
That's on them.
You're right.
See, I'm gonna speak up for me. I can't speak up for other black folk.
But you did just affirm, Ron.
I can't speak
Ron, you did just affirm that the reason you won't say anything negative about J.D. Vance is because you still want to see Trump elected.
Oh, I still want to see Trump elected, but I didn't say that. I said that I can't push anything off on him or push anything off on anybody else. Don't do that.
But no,
Don't
that's
do
not true.
that.
I asked you a question and you answered in the affirmative.
Yeah.
Right.
No. I
Yes.
said that I cannot push anything off on him or anybody else.
No,
So
Ron, when you go back and rewatch this, if you choose to go back and rewatch this, you'll hear that I asked the question and you said yes. I asked if the reason why you wouldn't say anything negative about J.D. Vance is because you still want people to vote for Donald Trump. You said yes.
I said sort of. You know, and it's a trip. You always try.
Well, maybe I misheard you. I think I thought you said either yes or of course.
Now you talk about tricking somebody. Other people gonna see. The other people gonna say yes. The other people gonna hear that I said yes, but that's not true. And see, you talk about me pushing shit off on other folk and trying to trick folk. That's you doing that shit. That's you doing that shit.
Who am I trying to trick?
Every time.
Who am I trying to trick and how?
That's full of shit.
Who am I trying to trick and how?
I'll say it before, and I'll say it again. You know, you have to be leery of somebody who is trying so hard.
I would be leery
to get you to vote against your own interests, and it's a trip. Christians have interests out here.
Okay.
Christians have interests out here.
And what are those interests?
Spiritual people.
What are those interests?
Spiritual people.
What are those
have
interests
out here.
What are those interests?
If I gotta tell you, evidently, you ain't a Christian.
Well,
Honestly,
I think, Ron,
you just don't know.
Honestly, I think,
period.
you know, like say take abortion, for example. You believe God is against abortion, right?
Okay.
Hello?
Okay.
No, I'm asking, do you believe God is against
Okay.
abortion? Okay isn't an answer.
It's murder, of course.
So you believe God is against
I'm sorry?
abortion?
No, I know he's against abortion.
All right,
'Cause he's
so
against murder.
wait a minute. So if he's against abortion, why doesn't he make it impossible?
Oh fuck! You are ridiculous.
What?
You are again.
What is ridiculous about that? It's a perfectly legitimate question. If God is against abortion, he's God. He could make it impossible, right?
Because God gives us free will.
Exactly. That's the same reason that I don't think it should be illegal, because God gave us free will.
Okay.
So you can choose to do it, or you can choose not to do it.
God gave us free will to do any and everything that we can.
Right.
Rape ain't good.
And I don't believe you should
God
do
gave
it.
us free will to do it.
And I don't believe you should do it.
It's a trip because yeah, and it should be illegal, like it is. It should be illegal.
All right,
like
you might
it
have
is.
me there.
And
You
like
might have me there.
abortion should be illegal, like it is.
You might have me there.
Or
That was a good
it
point.
is in some places.
Ron.
Like it is in some places.
Ron, I'm giving you credit. That was a good point.
Okay.
All right, but I still believe God could make it impossible, but he relies on our free will. I believe that he can. And I believe that
like he did, like he made the Tower of Babel impossible for them to build.
Well, I guess theoretically, sure.
Right?
Sure.
Yeah. But now we have the capability to get all the way out there.
Okay.
Okay. So what's the I mean, God gives us free will.
Right.
God gives us free will.
So that's why I always say I take the God stance on abortion. I don't think anybody should do it, but I think it's up to the individual to decide what they are or are not going to do.
Oh yeah, it's legal in some places. You know, and again, I really take an issue with life of the mother. You know, you got to say the life, and the rape and incest. I really I'm really torn on that. You know, I'm really torn on that. You know, but you know, it's legal. It's legal in some places. So if it's legal, you know, I ain't got no problem with it. I don't agree with it.
Right.
But if it's legal, it's
Then it's
legal.
legal.
I wish it wasn't.
All right,
wish it wasn't.
but you
With
still,
the exception
but
of those-
with all of that said, bottom line is you still want Donald Trump to be the next president, but you're not going to vote for him.
No. Absolutely not.
All right. You believe he's
Yeah,
got
I mean, you know,
he's
what's
got
the-
God's best
what's
interest
the
at heart,
trippy is-
but you're not going to vote
What's
for
the
him.
trippy is if anybody really notices, you know, Ohio is a red state. He's gonna win this state. I ain't even got to vote for him, but I'm not gonna vote for him out of GP.
Oh.
But I mean, I wouldn't even have to vote for him because he's gonna win the state anyway.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
You know that's not necessarily true.
Yeah. I mean, anything can happen.
Cuz
But it
you know
won't.
that Barack Obama won this state, right?
Oh, hey, you know what?
Did you know that?
I got full confidence. I think so. I don't know. I didn't really recognize it, but I mean,
Yeah.
you know, I talk to black folk all.
So all I'm
the
saying is,
time.
do not
know,
believe. Wait a minute. Go ahead.
black
Hold
folks
on.
know-
Finish what you were saying. You talk to black folks. What?
I talk to black folk all the time.
Uh-huh.
Black folks sick of this administration.
Right. And so
Sick
what
of
do
this-
you tell them
and-
to
and
do?
and-
What do you tell all those black people to do?
Oh shit! I always say, well, I always say, well, I ain't talked to nobody since I've said that you know I wasn't going to vote. No, I did talk to others.
No, you ain't.
But
You talked to
you
black
know,
folk all the way up until the day you decided that you wasn't gonna vote.
But I mean, I you know, I told everybody vote Trump.
Okay.
But well, no, I told them I'm going to vote Trump. I'm going to vote Trump, and
right.
I told people why.
That's not
I
the
told
same.
people why. I
Okay.
told people why.
All right.
I told people why.
But
And I
you
gave
but
them
you haven't
understanding
but you
that-
haven't done that since you decided that you wasn't gonna vote. You will not be talking to black folks about who to vote for, why they should vote for them,
Oh,
whether or not
no,
they should
I
vote.
ain't gonna say, you know, oh no, shit. You know, if I get an opportunity to tell people shit, tell them to vote Trump. I'm gonna tell them to vote Trump. I ain't gonna tell them to vote Kamala Harris. Why would I?
Oh no, you
Why would I?
wouldn't. You
I
wouldn't
ain't
because
gonna
that's
vote.
not who you want to see elected.
But why would I?
Just like you saying I'm not gonna vote.
Yeah.
You understand? See, here's what happened. Initially, you said you didn't have any influence. But then as the conversation went on, you pointed out that you talk to black folks all the time about voting and who they should vote for and why they should vote for them. So now that you recognize that you actually do have some influence over those black people that you talk to all the time, you realize,
I didn't say I was gonna have no influence. Shit,
then why would you be talking to these people?
Say I'm full of shit.
Why would you
Some
be talking to
people
these
say I'm
people?
full of shit.
Why would they
don't
be
vote for
talking
me.
to you about it if you have no influence?
Nigga, cause
Come on,
I have
come on, man.
conversations
We
with
not falling for
you-
these
I
tricks.
mean, so wait. Well, hey, listen. If everybody, I ain't voting for president. I will tell you, I want Trump to win. Vote Trump, goddammit. Vote Trump, vote Trump, vote Trump, vote Trump. Hey, are you satisfied? Are you satisfied with that? Vote Trump, vote Trump, vote Trump. Absolutely vote Trump. Kamala Harris ain't said we gonna be at war in a few months anyway. You know, vote Trump. Shit. Now, is that good enough for you?
I like honesty. The only
What
part of
advantage
that I
for
didn't
your
like
ass?
was the
Vote
fact
Trump.
that you said you're not gonna vote when you know you are.
I'm not gonna vote.
We both know you're gonna
I mean,
vote.
I don't understand.
We all
I don't understand.
I don't have time to go through and count
I don't-
other people, but all
I don't understand.
everybody listening
just
right
don't
now
understand.
knows you're gonna vote. Come on.
Hey, listen. Okay, listen.
We're hip
So,
to the trick.
I won't vote for president. Okay. If I don't vote for president, you give me $25 or buy me an ounce of weed.
Well, there's no way for me to know whether or not you voted for president.
Yeah, it is. Yes, it is.
Oh, how?
Yes, it is. Hey, listen. Hey, listen. I've been thinking about that shit. You said that shit 2 days ago.
Uh-huh.
Boy, look. I've been thinking about that shit all since you said it.
Okay, so you got an answer. You got a solution.
Hey, listen. I'm gonna go ahead and take a video of my shit and then walk into the ballot box and let you see the video of me putting my put my ballot in with nobody's name marked on it.
I don't trust that.
I'll give you.
How about
I'll give me.
look, I'll take you up on it if we do this. Hold on. Here's my conditions, all right? Because I'm with you. You close.
What?
How about when you go to vote, I go with you, and I see your ballot.
Bet.
Okay. Bet.
Now.
And what am I buying you
if
now?
I don't vote, right?
Now, what am I buying you?
An ounce of weed. I ain't gonna even.
How about I'll give you the
give me-
money?
give me
I'll
a
give you the money to buy an ounce of weed. I won't buy an ounce of weed.
Bet.
Okay.
Bet. Everybody heard you. Everybody heard you.
All right. We got to bet.
I'm the most lifted law out. I gotta go.
All right.
I gotta go.
All right. He's pretty excited about that potential ounce of weed that he know he not gonna buy because he know he voting for Trump. But just the thought of it made him happy. So look, y'all can say what y'all want to say, but I've done my part today. I tell y'all every day to be the reason that somebody smiles. I've done my part today. That dude is happy at the thought of an ounce of weed that he know he ain't never gonna get because we all know he's voting for Trump. He gonna conveniently forget to let me know when he's going to vote. So, I forgot. Or, it's gonna change. That's how some of them do. Like, remember when Twin gave me his word as a man that he would not vote? But now he's decided he ain't sure. Well, one day he is gonna vote, and he know it's gonna be for Trump. The next day, he ain't sure. I'm hip to all of those tricks. But he's excited about that ounce of weed. Look, I've been the reason that somebody smiled today. Can you say the same thing? You should be able to. Oh, boy. Twin!
What's up, little man?
Hey, what's up, little man?
You still going down today?
Going down where?
I don't know. That's what Mac Buddy told you yesterday.
Oh, you talking about...
Man, that was... Hey, man, he had me dying laughing yesterday, man.
You are a hater. Bro, why are you such a hater?
No, I'm not no hater. It's just the way he was saying. I'm like, huh? Going down? Man, they had me. Man, I was down. I didn't even go to work yesterday. Man, I was so tight. But they had me. I had to get out the bed when I heard that. Man, that was so funny. It was so funny the way he said. I said, what the? And especially at a meat factory? Oh, no. The way he said.
Oh.
I had to laugh, man.
Hey.
It was so funny.
He was mistaken. That's
'Cause I
all
thought
I'm saying. He was mistaken. I've never saying
No.
I'm going down ever in my life.
Come on, man. Come on. You know you was on the line singing, man. You going down. Come on, E, man. Tell the truth, shame the devil, man.
That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing.
It was so.
Oh,
Hey, Manuel.
yes, sir.
Hey, this vote. I know I said I was man of my word that I want to go vote. But it won't be for Donald Trump. I thought about it and everything to go for him. Like, nah, he ain't talking about nothing. There's policy and everything. And she definitely ain't talking about nothing. She just a little trick in the bag that they put out there like they did Obama. So, no. So only one left is what? Independent, right?
Well, it's a few independents, yeah.
Yeah. I'll probably just go independent. Other than that, it won't be Kamala, and it definitely won't be Trump.
All right, what are the
I'm going to vote.
Wait a minute. So what are the independents saying that they're going to do that you like?
It was something good they was talking about, but I got to go back over it, though. But it was something good they was talking about. Other than that, I'm not going for either one. It's a back-and-forth game they play, and this action, man, it ain't even worth it, man, really. It's a puppet show that's going on, whatever. But, Emmanuel, people got their choice, man.
They do.
They prerogative, whatever, who they go vote for. So people throw this. Soon we say that on Lincoln Ware any show. Oh, y'all stupid, y'all dumb. He just go take y'all back to slavery and all that. Well, I ain't never been in slavery. I don't know what it is to be like in slavery. Only time I felt like I was enslaved when I was in prison. That's the only time. Other than that, I don't see nothing. I mean, I'm not in no slavery. I'm not in no chain gang, picking no cotton, whatever type things they did back in the day. I don't look at myself like, I look for a come up. I ain't looking for no handout, none of that, man. So all that slave mentality and all that, they go take you back and they Project 25 type issues. I'm not thinking about all that. If y'all think about that, something y'all ain't nothing but a scare tactic to me. So I don't really think about that bull.
You think so?
To each his own on that, man.
Wait, hold on.
I know so.
Wait,
it's a bunch of bullshit, man.
Wait, I just want to make sure I understand what you're saying. You're saying people telling you what people's actual plans and policies will be, you believe that's a scare tactic?
Man, that's just something that they some group. Well, I forgot the name of the group that came up with that bull stuff. It's agenda try to push it on Trump. He saying he ain't looked at it and everything else, or he don't know some type of whatever. But I don't. If it happened, it happened. If it don't, it don't.
Well, here's
like
what I want you to do.
Dude, damn it. You got to play the game, man.
You do have to play the game. You do have to play the game.
I've seen that Project 25 back in 1972.
No, you didn't.
The same damn issue, man.
No,
yes,
you didn't.
It was. It was on the
No.
damn.
No.
Yes, it's the same damn
No.
shit that's
No.
going on. Yes, it is.
No.
Okay.
Project-
okay. I'm gonna look it right back up because
Okay.
I like this is the same shit they talking about.
Project 2025
Come on, man.
has not been out since the 70s.
It's the same stuff. Man, I don't care. I've seen it, man.
And twin, just so you know, and this is something that you might want to look into. I'm going to look into it a little more. I was reading a report where, because, they're trying to back off of Project 2025. Like I said, Trump is saying he don't know nothing about it and he ain't got nothing to do with it and so on and so forth. But I was reading something, and this is something I have to look into. While they're trying to say and distance themselves from Project 2025, there's a new thing that they have. It's I forget what it's called, like their 180-day governing plan or something like that. And the person who's kind of in charge of it is the same dude who was in charge of Project 2025, but Trump seems to be on board with this 180-day plan, which is the exact same thing as Project 2025, led by the same guy who led Project 2025. So while they're saying, we don't like Project 2025, they're saying, but we like this 180-day plan. Well, what is the 180-day plan? The exact same thing as Project 2025, but Project 2025 is that BS. But this 180-day plan, this is good stuff. It's the same dude standing there with both of them. Project 2025 by a different name. Look, I'm going to do more research on it because I can't say with 100% certainty that the report that I read was 100% accurate. So I'm going to look into it, but that's why I'm putting it on your radar so you can look into it. So, you know what I'm saying? We'll both know. Yeah, we'll both know about this new 180-day plan.
Okay, when she get elected, if she get elected, what does that change for us black people? What is going to benefit from us?
We'll have somebody in office that is more in tune with us in terms of at least attempting to, I want to make sure I say it right, because if I don't say it right, people will challenge it.
And attempting to what? Fuck up our lives some more?
To do more things to help people that aren't necessarily or exclusively wealthy people. For example, which I know this is a bit of a sore spot for you, but for example, like medical assistants. If Donald Trump and his team gets in office and takes control, you can believe that won't be around for a long time. When they can get rid of it, they will get rid of it, because they don't care about your baby mama having her medical bills taken care of when she go to the hospital to have your baby. Little things like that.
Bush and all them was in there, Bush and them said the same thing, right?
They didn't have this
Bush
stuff.
and them said the same.
But hear what I'm telling you. Right, let's say I put a plan in place, right? And so I float this idea, and this thing is now the policy for the next 10 years. I get elected out in 4 years, right? So the next guy can't just come in and say, all right, that stuff that he put in, it's out of there, right? They can't do that. They got to wait 10 years in order for that stuff to be out of here. So if they're in office in 10 years, then when it comes to renew my plan to help your baby mama pay for her medical bills when you had your baby, then they can say...
Why you got to say my damn baby mom?
I'm just saying in general. Just don't take... Why do people take this stuff so personally?
Because you and your damn brother, just like he say the damn same thing.
To help...
Other little punk ass on the...
All right, to help some former gang member's baby mama with her medical bills.
Man, fuck you, man. You saying the same thing. You ain't changing it around.
It's not you. It's a different former gang member. See, I'm not even talking about you.
Man, gone, man.
I'm not talking about you.
You say twin, man. Man, what else? Put a name on it, then. You talk former gang.
No, because it's not just you. There are a whole lot of people who use these services and all of that kind of stuff to help themselves keep their head above water. So it's not just you. That's my point.
Yeah, whatever.
We all like, oh, I'm only caring about me. I only care about me. I only care about me. Now, we got to think about other people. If all you care about is you, then what about everybody else in the world around you?
So why they don't do that with politicians and care about us? Why it's got to be a different group? If they would so much put their trust and faith in us or whatever, why we got to ask for stuff? Why they letting giving them free token rides and everything across the border? The immigrants and all that.
Hold
why
on,
is they doing all that?
Wait, say that
and
one more
been here
time.
forever.
Wait, say that one more time. I missed it.
I said if they care about us and everything else, why they don't put they trust in us? Why they got to give people free things? Why we got to ask for stuff? They give the immigrants and all that free stuff. We've been over here forever.
Well, look,
why we got to keep asking for stuff?
I agree with you. People should
if they really care about somebody.
I agree with you. People, the government should be more helpful to all people who need some assistance. Okay?
But you want my vote, though. But you want my vote.
They give you assistance
across the border.
They give people assistance. Again, when I say you, I don't mean specific you. I mean the kind of general you, the people. They give assistance to people who need assistance.
Emmanuel, you got a woman. Emmanuel, you got a lady that's been over here born and raised. Why she got to go to the whole third degree to ask for some damn assistance with 4 kids and struggling and shit with her bills and everything, but she got to wait for a damn statement, whatever, request in 30 days. But as soon as they come over here, everything's free for them.
Well, I don't
gotta wait. Come across that border.
I don't.
What?
I don't think everything is free for them, and I don't think that you would want to trade places
Emmanuel.
with one of those immigrants.
Emmanuel.
Yes.
They crossing the border every day, man.
Yes,
when
they
get hit, man, you should go to Chicago in the hood.
I don't need
I'm
to.
so flooded with them.
Okay. Let me
If
ask
you
you
ever
this.
get time
Twin,
to pass
Twin,
Chicago, just ride
Twin.
past there.
Twin, let me ask you this. Would you like to switch places, trade your life for one of those immigrants in Chicago that's getting some assistance? Would you want to trade with them?
That ain't got shit to do with it, man.
Of course it does. Y'all acting like what the life they living like they're living a good life. You know what I'm saying? Caviar and floating in the pool. Caviar on the Ritz cracker and all that kind of stuff.
Free.
I learned that from Myosha.
Come on, man. You wouldn't even know. Because you ain't never been around shit like that.
But
so you can't speak about nothing like that.
My question becomes, would you want to trade places with them?
That's not the point I'm getting to,
but
man.
I know that's not the point you're getting to.
So
It's the point I'm getting to. Like, stop acting like, they just balling out.
Man, they is balling out. When a motherfucker with 4 kids already been here and shit, been staying here, don't get nothing.
So then why wouldn't you want to trade places with them?
Damn it, I ain't say trade places. Why the fuck they get shit free and I got to get the whole 3rd degree down there at the public aid building? Come on, man.
Here
That's
is why
what people bitching about.
Here is why you don't want to trade places with them. Because
you
live a pretty good life.
Talk about trading places. You don't know shit. See, you keep talking that bullshit, but you don't know because you ain't never been around the shit. See, if you've been around the shit, you will know. You can't speak about shit you don't know about. Stop it, man.
So they are eating caviar off the Ritz crackers and everything.
Man, they doing everything more than a motherfucking black person. See, I know because I've been around the shit because I want to see it for my damn self.
So then why won't you want to switch places with them? Their life is so good.
Damn it,
why not? I know you're not saying switch places with them because you know you don't want to switch places with them because you know the life that they live in is not some amazing life. But y'all trying to paint it like, they up there balling, you know what I'm saying? They got new cars, they got new houses, they you know what I'm saying, for breakfast they eat caviar on Ritz, and for lunch it's a townhouse cracker, you know what I'm saying? And then they get club crackers for dinner. You know what I'm saying? Like, they not living this amazing life. Look, I agree with you. The government should be helpful to everybody across the board who needs help.
I know.
How many people
that's like that, man?
How many people do you know that want to switch places with them?
Damn it, I ain't saying it like that. Damn it, come on, man.
You don't have to say it like that. It's not about whether you saying it like that. You are putting out the idea that these immigrants are living this amazing life, all on the government, all on the taxpayer.
Let me break it down, dummy terms, since your ass trying to be sarcastic all the time. Listen here, man.
I'm trying to be reasonable.
Women I know, no, reasonable my ass. There ain't no reasonable doubt on this shit.
I didn't say nothing about reason.
Look, people been here, born and raised, man.
Uh-huh.
They got to go through the whole 3rd degree just to get some assistance.
Okay.
But as soon as those son of a bitches came through that borderline, here you go. Here go a EBT card. Matter of fact, here go a gift card. Hey, matter of fact, we're going to send you up in this new shelter we got. It's been shut down for years and shit. But we got it built up running for y'all. Come on, man, with that bullshit. See, you don't know. You ain't never go to Chicago, New York, Detroit, and you'll see the fucking difference, man. Totally different.
Hold on. Twin, again, let me try to break this down for you dummies terms, okay?
No.
You don't want me to break it down dummy terms? You don't want me to break it down dummy terms?
And you think them people in Chicago, New York ain't crying about that shit, man? Come on, man. You better wake up and watch Chicago news.
Can I break it down?
What's going on?
Can I break it down dummy terms? Can I break it down dummy terms? All right. So this fictitious woman with 4 kids who need assistance. Don't.
It's not just her, man. It's more than that.
I know it's more than that. That's why we pick out an example to be the representative of everybody. We all know it's more than just one, okay? But this fictitious woman with 4 kids who need assistance, who waiting on her paperwork, are you telling me that she would trade her current position for one of those immigrants?
I didn't say that, man. I didn't say that shit. Don't put words in my mouth.
I didn't put
say
any
nothing like
words in
this.
your mouth. I didn't put
said, why the
anything in
fuck
your
you gotta
mouth.
wait this
All I
long
did was
to get
ask you a
fucking
question.
sister?
The
Only thing I said, why she gotta wait so long for a response, but they get theirs ASAP. Come
Okay.
on, man.
because they're in a worse position than she is. They're in a worse position than
What's so
she's
fucking worse?
in.
She pays taxes though.
But look, if two
Man.
people come up to you, right?
Quit trying to be
Twin,
Captain Save
twin.
a hoe, man. That's all I say.
You the one brought up the woman with 4
That's
kids who need
bullshit. You-
assistance and she need help right now. That would be Captain Save a Hoe.
Be-
I'm trying
No,
to be
man, because
reasonable.
My point is this: why the government look over people that don't be here and got a fucking birth certificate, Social Security, but get their ass assistance first? But for people that's been here, just say fuck y'all. Wait, I'll get back to you in 30 days. Come on,
Because
man.
they are in a
That's
work.
what I'm talking about.
Twin. Let me ask you this. Honest.
What?
It's hypothetical. If one person comes to you and they haven't eaten in 3 days, they so weak they can barely stand.
I'ma feed their ass.
Wait, I'm not finished with the
That's
example
what
yet.
Twin go do.
I'm not finished with the example yet.
What?
And then another person come to you
Man, hurry
and
up, 'cause
they're
your example
hungry.
shitty.
They haven't eaten since breakfast. Who are you gonna feed first?
I'm gonna feed both of them.
Who are you gonna
We
feed
go break bread
first?
together.
Who are you gonna feed first? You only got the money
I'ma
right
feed
now to
both of
feed.
them.
You only got the money to feed one of them right now. Who you feeding first?
What you say now? Come again.
You only got the money on you right now. You got money to feed one of them. Who you feeding first?
I mean, it depends on how many he is.
It's one. One dude ain't ate for 3 days. The other dude ain't ate since breakfast.
I always
They
do
both
that anyway,
hungry.
So what's,
Who you feeding first?
I'm gonna try to equal it out. Most likely.
Who you feeding first?
Then I say I'm trying to equal it out.
You
most
can't
likely.
equal it out. You gotta feed one or the other first. Who you feeding first?
It depends.
I
Well, how
just
many
told
kids-
you they
who you
both
talking about,
hungry.
man?
It's two
Who come at
people.
me?
It's 2 people. They hungry. One hasn't eaten in 3 days.
I'm gonna break bread with both of them.
Okay.
I'm breaking bread with both of them, man.
Who get to
Come
eat
on, man.
first?
I said I'm breaking bread
Who,
with both
all
of
right,
them.
so you got bread in your hand. Who you giving the bread to first?
Then you say 2 people, man.
Oh, Lord. It's a woman with
Didn't
her
you
4
say 2
kids and
people?
she needs assistance. And her situation is
said
not
what?
as bad as the other people's situation who need help. You help the people in the most
said 2
desperate.
people, right?
You help the people in the most desperate situation first because their need is much more immediate, whereas she can wait 30 days. Should she have to wait 30 days? That's a whole discussion. But she can wait 30 days for her assistance. These people can't. They have nothing. Their situation is super desperate. That's why it seems like, oh my goodness, they helping them first and they not helping her. They are helping her. She's just not getting her assistance as quickly as they're getting theirs because her situation is not as desperate.
Why come it ain't desperate? She got 4 kids and they ass coming over here. I ain't tell they ass across the board. Shit. I've been here and shit. I pay taxes. Why the fuck I gotta suffer like y'all? Shit. I ain't tell you cross the board.
You're right.
You're illegal immigrants anyway. That's
Okay.
how I look at it.
I believe you.
What?
I believe you.
I know you, but that's how the fuck I look at it, man.
I believe you.
Shit. That's bullshit how the government's ran, man. They look out for them foreigners and all that and shit. And reparation, that go your reparation, them billions they keep sending over there. You ask for reparation, my ass.
Okay.
Oh, I'm done talking, man. I'll holler at you, man.
All right.
Let's keep it on the down low, all right?
I appreciate
Don't
your call. All right.
Yeah,
Twin.
all right.
Oh, that's Twin. And look, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that what they're doing, they could, they should give a lot more assistance even. Because it's funny that, like one day we're against people getting and taking and using assistance, and the next day we're saying we should give them people more assistance. That's always funny to me. But I'm on the side of, I'm saying this nation, look, as much stuff as we waste as a nation, as much stuff as we spend as a nation, just unnecessarily, if someone comes over here, let me answer the question for me. 2 people come to me. I'm hungry, E. And I'm like, you hungry? And they like, yes, I'm hungry. This dude say, I have not eaten in 3 days. This dude say, I haven't eaten since noon. If I got to help somebody first, that dude that ain't ate in 3 days, here. Bruh, I know you hungry. I know you haven't eaten since noon. Give me a minute. Let me go get some more food. But that dude hadn't eaten in 3 days. And I kept asking him, do you want to switch positions? Do you think these people want to switch positions? Because I find that sometimes it helps if people understand the desperation of another situation. And if I come here and I got nothing, I ain't got no money, I ain't got no food, I ain't got no place to stay, I got kids just like you got kids, and I'm just out here, just ass out here. Why you be mad at people for helping people who need help? You got a place to live. You got some food. You got, you know what I'm saying? You're doing okay. You need assistance. I'm not diminishing that you need assistance. And I'm not diminishing that you should get maybe even more assistance. But your situation, you wouldn't want to trade your situation for their situation. Why be mad at the people who need assistance? Why? It's not their fault. Okay, you mad at the government for giving them assistance before they give you assistance. And I get it, but it seemed to me very non-empathetic to look at someone because they weren't born in this country and just feel like, F them. Give me more and F them because I've been here longer. Be mad at them because they should give us more. Or they should, not us, they should give people in need more. I'm not mad at the immigrants. Marquetta.
Hey, real hot girl shit. I didn't know you had me on this phone too on caller at this. How you doing, E-Man?
I'm doing good. And you?
I'm good. I'm just listening to y'all. I usually try to stay away from your shows. Y'all be cussing and fussing at each other too much.
I don't be cussing. I don't cuss.
We should not. Okay. We should not be angry at migrants who are trying to escape U.S. imperialist agendas. We know, as black people in America, that we were kidnapped and enslaved and brought over here, and we never received any economic justice. Now, my question to you, before we talk about migrants, do you think black Americans deserve reparations?
Yes.
Okay.
I haven't spoken on this chance. Number one, the
Hello?
reason we're the country we are is because of immigration.
I was hoping that you could hear Biden when he had ran and they asked him about reparations, and his response was, this is a migrant country. This is a country of immigrants, and reparations is not on the agenda. Instead, they're looking to bring in immigrants because immigrants is what makes America strong. That was his response for reparations when he was debating in the first presidential Democratic, I guess. So if we as Black Americans are saying, hey, that person's hungry too, we got to feed them. Hey, that person's hungry too, we got to feed them. And there is nothing ever put on your plate, wouldn't you expect people to be angry? Because you're saying we haven't ate since noon and we're going to feed the person who hasn't eaten in 3 days, but you're still hungry, even if you haven't eaten since noon.
Agreed.
And with Black Americans, if you look at the data, Black Americans who are born in America, who are descendants of enslaved Africans, who are not first, second, or third immigrants.
I have to admit, hold on, I'm having a little bit of a hard time hearing you. So yeah, that's why I'm kind of leaning down because my speaker is over here. I'm having a little bit of a hard time hearing you, Marquetta.
Okay, I'll put you back on my Obama phone. Can you hear me better now?
No, it sounds about the same.
I apologize. So I'm gonna speak up for you.
Okay.
And I know people don't like for me to speak up because they think that I'm some hard lesbian gangster bitch, but I'm not. I'm a soft furry woman. Okay, X chromosome.
Did you say a soft furry
again,
woman?
Black. Yeah, you know we got a little. We'll get in there next time. The Black American group, the people who are born in America, who descend from the civil rights era, who descend from Jim Crow, whose ancestors fought against lynching, whose ancestors were burned alive, who were lynched, who were deprived of economic justice in this country for 400 years. In 2024, economically, we are worse off. In housing, we are worse off. In economics, we are at the very bottom. When you talk about migrant groups in America, including Hispanics, they have more wealth, they are the fastest growing business owners, and they are, as a group, more united. I live in Texas now. Everywhere in Texas, there is a Mexican restaurant. There is a Mexican grocery store. They cater to their own needs. My Uber driver was from Cameroon the other day, and he said, you should visit Africa, after explaining to me that he was in America because everybody that's a leader in Africa is corrupt, that they steal all of the mineral and material resources from their citizens, and they have no choice but to leave their continent because there's nowhere safe for them. But I explained to him, even the Nigerian American is richer than the Black American. So as Black Americans, it is so sad to hear us advocate for everybody else except for ourselves when it's our government that we keep on saying we need to vote for. When you're talking about Kamala Harris, I don't care. But I've told you for years, Jill Stein, third party, independent. Marianne Williamson didn't even get a chance to vie at the Democratic National Convention. JFK, he didn't get a chance to even get up there and present his case to the DNC. Nancy Pelosi decided that it would be Harris. Nancy Pelosi had already decided they were kicking Biden to the curb. My point is, Black Americans do not put their own agenda to these politicians. And so when we vote people in who don't advocate any of our interests.
So what's the answer then? Don't vote?
Further and further. No, it's to vote according to your agenda. Have an agenda and present it to them. The same way that the American Israel Political Action Committee gives both Trump and Harris millions of dollars to push their agenda.
Right, and so what is the agenda of these third parties?
The agenda of if you let me finish, if you look up Marianne Williamson, she is pro-reparations. She is pro-Medicare for all. She is pro-tax breaks to middle-class Americans. If you look up Jill Stein, she is against Israel, no longer funding forever wars. She would immediately stop the funding to Ukraine. These are agendas. That money would come back to the American people, and with a candidate that has an interest in reparations, who would be willing to, the same way that a Venezuelan can come here and get special accommodations. A reparations bill would give special accommodations to Black Americans. When you talk about Waltz, he gave free college tuition to migrants. Black Americans need free tuition. When you're talking about Medicare for all, or when you're talking about Medicaid, or when you're talking about Obamacare, it is Black Americans who need that first and foremost. That should be the leading thing
so
that candidate comes to speak out. What is the agenda of Kamala Harris?
Marquetta?
What is her policy?
Marquetta.
Go to her website, Emanuel, and read her policy. I'm sorry, go ahead.
So
you told me to yell.
My question is just, do you believe, in all reality, that either of the third party candidates have an actual shot at being elected?
Of course not.
So you would say, take your political capital and give it to someone who does not have a shot, as opposed to maybe organize, get your political capital collectively together, and then make demands of people who actually stand a chance at winning. Which is more reasonable?
First of all, I don't believe, there's no belief, we know. And I think I called you last month, and we talked about BlackRock. Now, I get it, the popularity contest and, the electoral college, and everybody get excited, and we all hate each other because of our political views until election time. Okay, that's what is pushed. You argue, you fight, you angry until somebody selected, however it goes. My point is, what is Kamala Harris's policy? Go to her website and find me her policy. What is her agenda? It just says donate.
But
it doesn't have a policy.
Just so you know, I noticed
and here's the thing.
You did not answer my question.
We are organized. We are organized. American Descendants of Slavery, ADOS101.org. Look it up. .com, look it up. We are organized.
You didn't answer
we
my
are
question.
organized for our own political interests, and it's not that we are in support of Democrat or Republican, because we don't have permanent friends. We have permanent interests. So whoever is willing to take up our cause is who we support. Now, you're talking about we could at least get a shot with Kamala Harris. She said.
I didn't say with Kamala Harris. That's not what I said. That is not what I said.
You said a political party that you have at least a chance. Is that
right.
What you said?
So why not engage? Why not engage a political party that has a chance of winning, as opposed to just spilling your seed for nothing?
Biden already told us. They already told us. They've already shown us, both candidates. In the last 8 years, they've shown us.
Hold on, what did Kamala say?
Do for Black Americans.
Wait, hold on, what did Kamala say?
If you look it up, she had an interview with the Griot years back.
All right.
And the question was posed to her, what do you think of reparations?
Okay.
And her comment was, we're going to do something for everybody. Because if we do something for everybody, it's going to impact Black people too.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I'm not going to do anything in particular just for Black people. No, I'm not going to do anything in particular just for Black people. But what I'm telling you, and again, I'm only yelling because you said you can't hear me.
That's fine.
If you look it up, when it comes to Asian island Pacific people, she did something particular and specific for that group. When it came to the people from Venezuela, they did something in particular and specific for that group. When it came to the Jews, and you're talking about Israel, who is now engaging in World War III. They're about to take us into World War III. She is adamant, and her Zionist vice president pick is adamant they will defend Israel with America with all of their might.
And so doesn't it become Marquetta, doesn't it become a tricky thing? You and I would agree, the Republican or the Democrat, they're going to become the president, right? We agree on that?
I think BlackRock is behind it, but somebody's going to be the face of the puppeteer. But go ahead. I would agree with you.
All right. So one of them will be the president. So you're saying don't vote for either of them. Vote for someone who's not going to be the president for certain.
No, I said vote for your agenda. How can you consciously vote and advocate for people who are saying it's okay to cut a child's penis off and transition them before they even hit puberty?
I don't like that at all. I don't like that at all.
Okay, exactly. So, if you're so conscious and worried about it, why would you put your vote behind that?
Well,
I'm not doing that. Why would you?
Okay,
why
that's
would
fine.
you support any politician? Wait a minute, willing to carpet bomb a whole group of people because of what a certain group of people did? They said genocide is okay. Genocide and rape. The Israelis are raping people, and they said they have the right to do it.
So again, what you're saying is the idea is. So what you're saying is the idea is, I know either that Republican or that Democrat is going to be elected, win, and sit in that seat. So let's not vote for either of them. That's what you're saying.
That's right.
Okay.
Let me say this to you. Let me say this to you. Because the Arabs in Michigan turned the Democratic primary by saying undecided. They said they would not support Biden because of his support of Israel. Nobody is arguing at the Arab American and demanding that they choose this evil or that evil.
No one's arguing
They're fine with an
anybody.
undecided vote.
But my question becomes, so if you...
I'm hollering because you told me to.
I'm fine. I haven't said anything about the level of your voice now that I can hear you. So you can holler, even if you were screaming at me. I'm not one of those dudes that take that stuff personally. This is talk, and people get passionate. So it don't matter to me one way or the other.
Okay, wonderful. I'm not very passionate. I'm just trying to be heard.
And I appreciate that. But so the point being, or at least the point that I'm making, if you say, I have interests that I would like to be served, and none of these people will serve my interests. So I'm going to vote for someone that I know will not get the office. How then are your interests going to be served?
Oh, well, I know that I won't be complicit in the genital mutilation of children. I know that I won't be complicit with my vote in genocide. I know that I won't be complicit in basically replacing Black Americans and their housing and their access to opportunities, their access to already scarce resources. See, I'm not going to be complicit with that.
So then it ceases to be about whatever your interests are, and then it becomes about not being complicit with that negativity, right?
I mean, what are you voting for? What are you voting for?
Well, in this particular election cycle, I'm voting because I genuinely believe that if Donald Trump gets in office, he's going to do everything he can to change our entire system of government, and that won't be for anybody's good except for him and people like him. So in this particular election, that's who I'm voting, or that's the interest that I'm voting on.
Well, my interest would be, I would not want the world to escalate into nuclear war. And World War III is on the table with the current administration, where Iran and Russia and China have put it out to the world's media that they're willing to take those steps because America has continuously crossed the line, continuously sanctioned places like Venezuela, which creates that immigration, continuously sanction other countries, and so I can't support that. No, I'm not down with nuclear warfare.
So it sounds like you're saying that we should not be a part of the process at all. Just opt out.
No, I'm saying that we should get behind. Again, you can go to adosfoundation.org, ADOS 101, and you can go to Black Agenda. And if Black people would get behind their own interests and their own needs, and when these politicians come to your church, when these politicians come to your radio station, you tell them, look, we need, for Black Americans in particular, For decades, cannabis was used to incarcerate a disproportionate amount of black Americans. Before you get started with your dispensaries and your other things, you need to make sure that you repair the damage that was done by incarcerating so many people and taking all of those people out of our community. So now that we don't have access to certain jobs because we have all of these, like they just released 100,000 people for weed-related, the consequences behind that is you can't get access to housing. You can't get certain jobs.
Right, I understand all of that.
People. Okay, so if you understand that, you should understand why I would never vote for a nuclear war.
Right, but Marquetta, you have to understand that they're not, they being the government, whoever is running the government, they are not gonna listen to a people who says, I will not be a part of the process. I don't have the resources to fund what you're doing, but I demand you to do what I want you to do. I won't vote for you, but I demand that you do what I want you to do. I wouldn't listen to somebody who told me that. You put me in charge and I'm running for community council, and a group of people come in and they say to me, look, Emanuel, we not voting for you and we not giving you no money, but we demand that you do this. I would say, I'll take that under advisement and then go on about my business because you're of no value to me in any way, shape, or form.
And let me say this, again, back to the Palestinian, second generation, first generation Arab immigrants. And you will have contention in the streets as you do. You will have people at Congress constantly sitting in, working against their government to get their needs seen and met. You will constantly have demonstrations in the street, like you've seen with Black Lives Matter. You will see people who, regardless as to what, are willing to fight in the streets to vie for their government, to look at their interests. It is only Black Americans.
No, because all of those people vote.
Shut up and vote.
All of those people vote.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
They undecided.
Hold on. No, actually what you told me was that they voted undecided. That means they actually went in there and voted. Okay. They made a purpose of voting to make it known that we are a voting bloc and we are a powerful voting bloc. And while we will vote undecided, that way you can see the undecided numbers and know you can either get that bloc to vote for you or that bloc can vote against you, but that bloc is still gonna vote. They didn't vote for a third party. No, they did not vote for a third party.
I'm talking about us.
Well, you can't use them as the example when it fits, and then when it don't fit, then, well, I'm not talking about them. Either we're talking about them as the example or we're not.
I'm saying we are, brother, you saying the same thing I'm saying if you listening. You saying the Arabs declared their voting bloc by voting undecided.
Right.
I'm saying if Black Americans put their agenda behind someone like Marianne Williamson, someone like Jill Stein, you will see the percentage of Black votes behind that third-party candidate who is on the ballot. They are. Jill Stein is on the ballot every election with the Green Party.
She's never stood a chance of winning. See, here's what I'm saying with regard to your example.
Percentage of the vote, brother.
But here's what I'm saying with regard to your example. What they did in the primary was they said, look, here is a block of votes where you can have these votes if you act right. They didn't say we're going to withhold our vote. They didn't say we're going to vote. They said you can have these votes if you act right. What you're saying is, look, here's some votes and we're not giving them to you. It don't matter what you do. We got somebody else over there.
A third party.
How is that helpful? And that's why they did it in the primary and not in the general election. You do that. That's a move that you make. That's a power move that you make in a primary, but not in a general election.
But they didn't give you a primary, brother. You didn't even get to the DNC. They selected Harris and told you.
Well, they clearly held a primary because we're talking about how people voted in the primary.
They did not even hold a DNC convention yet.
They haven't held it yet. You're right.
and she was already declared the presidential nominee for the Democratic
She's the
Party.
presumptive
There is no
nominee.
choice.
Agreed. That's just the way that it happens.
And she's the okay. So you did not, and that's not just the way it happened. That is the DNC leadership choosing for their electorate.
That's not against
who
the
will be
law.
on
That's
that
not
ballot.
against the law,
You
and
don't
it's not
get to
against the
choose
rules.
RFK, but it's against democracy. You
I don't
didn't
know
get to
that it's
choose,
against
brother.
democracy.
She was polling. Look,
That
she
the
was polling
DNC
at
is an
0%.
actual organization.
She was
So
polling-
while it's not democratic, it's not against democracy.
It's not against the DNC laws and regulations.
It is. That's
But
right.
I'm
It is
saying
not
the
against their
principle of
laws or their rules
democracy-
or regulations.
The
It's not.
principle of democracy is choice. The principle of democracy is you have a choice.
Therefore, you
And I'm
will have a
telling you
choice
from
in
my
the general election. You will have a choice.
So Kamala and Trump, if those are your choices,
Mhm.
again, if Kamala and Trump is your only choices, I'm going to continue to vote a third party.
You can.
because I
I'm
would
not telling
never
you
put-
can't.
I would never put my support behind people that's willing to blow up the world for people who call themselves God's chosen. And I
Okay.
would also never put my support behind a racist who wants to become a dictator for the rest of his life and probably his sons or whatnot. I wouldn't support either of them. My point is Black Americans need to get behind an agenda and push it and stop arguing amongst each other about which evil is less when you ain't getting shit out of neither party. Okay, I'm done.
All right. All right. I appreciate your call.
That was fun. You have a good one.
All right, you too. Look, I get the point that she's making. And if she say you're not getting shit out of either party, I don't wholeheartedly agree with that. But let's take, for the sake of argument, let's say we're not getting shit out of either party. You ain't getting shit out the third party either. Because they're not empowered to give you shit. So, you're not getting shit either way. But if you say, look at what these people did. In the primary, they pulled a power move. They said, I'm going to just make up a number. Here is 1,000 votes that you can have if you act right. They did not vote. They didn't vote for the third party or nothing like that. And at least that way, look, if you come to me, again, I'm running for community council. And you say to me, look, it's 100 of us standing right here. If you act right, we will vote for you. Now they have an interest. So what do you want? Because that's 100 votes that I could see that I could get. That's what they did in the primary. I doubt if that same block will vote undecided in the general. Because then you might as well just have not voted. It's the difference between the two, primary and general. And you have to be strategic. I get what she's saying, though. Caller.
Hey, E-Man, this is Brent. How are you doing?
Brent, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm all right. Oh, man, that last call was frustrating. I love Marquetta, love her passion, but it seems like not only her, but a lot of folks have they have this idealism that unless a candidate does every single thing that they believe in, no matter how unrealistic it is, they're not going to vote, or they're not going to even vote for the person that is more likely than to help further their cause. They want to hit a home run, and they haven't even swung a bat yet. So just like with a lot of these other caucuses and things like that, start locally, get some of those third-party candidates winning local and statewide elections, and then governor election, and then try to win the presidency. Because if there was a president, we'll say a President Cornel West, which is supposed to be Ken Anderson's choice, and we know why it's his choice, because he's unserious. But if he goes in there and tries to tell the Republicans and Democrats, send me a bill to do X, Y, and Z, they're going to look at him like, man, you stupid. Here's the bill we have. You ain't getting none of what you want. You can veto it all you want. You're either going to hurt the people you're trying to save or trying to help, which will get you out of office sooner, or you're going to cause us to be in a bind financially through those bills. So it's so much nuance in all of those ideas, but you just have to look at it. Which party is going to help you the best? Because with the ADOS folks, I think part of their platform is that they are specifically focused on African Americans born in the United States of slave descendants. You know what that eliminates? People from Haiti, people from Brazil, people from Africa. So you are making the group that you want to support and have reparations, you are making them even smaller, so that's a less likely chance you're going to win. And all you're going to do is wind up with a Pyrrhic victory. I didn't vote for either the Democrats or the Republicans, but you still lost. And your cause is no further pushed forward in that loss.
And, like you already said, and I guess just to underline this point, Jill Stein or whomever, they can say, I'm 100% for reparations. All right, I'm going to elect you president. All right, President Jill Stein says to the joint session of Congress, send me a reparations bill for me to sign. They say, no. Now what? Well, I'm going to sign executive order. Well, you don't control the purse string, so you can't just say we given reparations. That's not the way it works. So what can you do? You have no power to do the thing that you said, the thing I voted for you. You have no power to do that. And that's why it's not, I'm not telling anybody who to vote for. I am suggesting that it might not be the best idea to vote for a third-party candidate, even if they have what you believe your best interests are in at heart or in mind, because they can't affect that change. They just can't do it.
Yeah.
As a single, the president is not the emperor.
Yeah, and just like what she had mentioned, Kamala Harris and the Griot, talking about she's not going to do nothing for black people or write anything for black people. Once again, the frustrating part is that you see all the hell that the black farmers have gone through just to get their version of reparations for all the years, or all the decades of them losing farms, and the FDA, the USDA, I think they're the one that handled the purse strings there, didn't give them their money. And what happened? Those Republicans got them tied up in courts, and the courts are conservative as hell, especially the Supreme Court. So it's like, come on. You see what happens every time anything is specified as black. So now you have to start to think, okay, how do I get judges in those elected positions that actually support not all, but maybe some or half of the things I support to get in there? So once my issue gets before that court, whether it's the lower court, whether it's the appellate, or whether it's the Supreme Court, then ultimately, once we had that bill ready and all the stars aligned, bam, there's my bill. I got some of what I wanted, because you're not going to get everything you want. I'm sure you want stale ginger snaps in every store.
That's right.
That's the only kind they could sell. It ain't happening, E-Man. So if you're looking for AFTAB or whoever's going to run against them to make that happen, even in Cincinnati, guess what? It ain't going to happen.
And I mean, it really does kind of come down to, you got all these people playing chess when the game is actually checkers. It's much simpler than y'all trying to make it out to be. Yep.
You got to get the numbers, get the numbers, not only get the numbers, just get them in the right position. Because think about every since, what was it, George H., Pappy Bush or Poppy Bush, whatever they call them, Republicans have not won the popular vote in winning the presidency.
Right.
So they got the numbers, and they got them in the right places. And that was, even with them overturning Roe v. Wade, that was over 50 years of struggle and them holding on, and not once did you see them abandon it like, well, I ain't got Roe v. Wade overturned in 50 years. I'm going to vote for the Democrats. That logic just ain't logicking. So, but I didn't want to talk about that. But what I wanted, and also I wanted to hear, do you remember the movie Brewster's Millions?
I do.
with Richard Pryor.
Uh-huh.
And he had a white great uncle who said, "Hey, you could either have $3 million and you can go about your business, or you can spend $30 million, and if you do it in 30 days, you'll get $300 million, but you can't tell anybody." And he ran and spent all that money, and then he ran for mayor, I think it was it
Yeah.
mayor? And his slogan was none of the above. Don't vote for me, vote for none of the above. And guess what? He still won the election and had to spend that additional money. But that's one of my favorite sports movies, baseball movies there. But yeah, that whole none of the above, I ain't voting for either one of them. Ain't accomplished. He thought it would accomplish his goal of spending all the money on campaigns, but it didn't. It gave him even more money. So
Right.
So yeah, these Pyrrhic victories are, are certain things standing on the principality of it. Your goal, I see it a little bit different than what you're doing with the, in terms of the NFL and Colin Kaepernick, because that's an individual issue. I haven't heard anybody else saying they're not going to watch it because of that. So that's totally separate. I'm boycotting the Krispy Kreme donuts that is closest to me, because the manager had a nasty attitude when I was asking him why it was taking so long for them donuts to come out when wasn't nobody in line. So I boycotted when my wife would bring home donuts from that location. I'm like, "Where'd you get it from?" And my son said, "Dad, you know where she got it from?" I'm like, "All right, y'all enjoy." It's the principality of the matter.
That's right.
When that hot light is on, I'll be itching and scratching like Flipper.
That's the one thing I regret about this last trip that I went to Alabama, is our hotel was down there on the Atlanta highway, and Krispy Kreme was right down the street, and we never even drove past it. I was so upset.
Because it's a law. I think it's even upheld by the Supreme Court, that if you pass by a Krispy Kreme donuts and that hot light is on, you have to stop and buy at least a couple of dozen.
Yeah.
Minimum.
It really is. A lot of people don't know that,
the
but
box right then and there.
Yeah, it's in the Constitution.
So that's the 27th Amendment, I think that is. But when I left the phone, my son had called, and I didn't get a chance to listen in, but I listened to the rest of the show. But I listened back in, and you said you weren't singing "I'm Going Down" by Mary J. Blige. Could it have been by Rose Royce?
I was not singing "I'm Going Down." I have never sang "I'm Going Down."
Well, was it possibly maybe he got the song wrong? Was it "I Want to Be Down" by Brandy? Were you singing that?
No, I've never sang that song either. I don't know what he was hearing.
Well, what about John B? "Are You Still Down"?
I've never even heard that song.
Were you haven't heard? That had Tupac was rapping over the top of it.
Really? I never heard it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, check it out. But one music thing, then we'll get to what LaDonna's waiting for. Did you know that Kelly Price, Tamia, and Deborah Cox, I think it was, they actually had a trio called the Queen's Project, recorded an entire album, but it never came out because they put the music before the business?
No, I did not know that.
Yeah, and all three of them are powerhouse vocally, and they did do a version. It's called Mirror, that's out there on YouTube, a live version, which is I would have loved to hear that album, or how it had to come out if they ever could have got it worked out. But yeah, so that's just a side musical.
Interesting.
Note in there, but what everyone is waiting for, it's time for the Wrestling Report, Monday Night Raw edition.
All right.
And to me, there's really only one thing to talk about, and that was it CM Punk and who is it? What's his name? Seth Rollins in the ring going back and forth, and then Drew McIntyre comes out, and they get to going, because all three of them hate each other. When they finally do have that three-way match, it's going to be epic. But CM Punk gets mad, traces Drew McIntyre, then out of nowhere comes Big Bronson Reed. Did you see that?
I did.
Oh,
Made him
and
look
Big
like a
Bronson
month.
Reed,
Like,
he's a big
yeah, I think they've been kind of jobbing him out, or at least not booking him right. But that made him look really strong.
Yes, but so what happened? He attacked Seth Rollins, went to the top rope, hit this top rope splash. Not once, not twice, not thrice. I don't know what's after 4 and 5, but I think 5 to 6 times he hit it, and me and my son are sitting there. It's like, yes, that's how you establish a monster that he should have been the entire time. So that was, to me, that was the highlight of the night there. And then you had, I thought they were finally, Judgment Day with Precious Paul Ellering, or I don't think he goes by the Precious Paul Ellering anymore, against the New Day minus Big E. But they were catching the beat down after they won, and out of nowhere comes a big black dude from NXT, and I can't even think of his name.
I can't either.
But they made him look dominant. So it looks like he's going to slide into the third man role since Big E, looks like he can't wrestle anymore because he got dropped on his head. So,
well, but they're teasing what's his name? Not Kofi. The other
Xavier.
Yeah, they're teasing him, some issues there. So I don't know if they're about to break up the New Day.
Yeah, I thought he was going to turn on Kofi because that's what they've been playing it up the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, look, everyone else has gone in to do great things, and the only thing you were a joke of a King of the Ring, which is amazing that he actually won the King of the Ring. But,
yes.
But yeah. But was there anything else you wanted to bring up from Raw?
No. None that I can think of.
Odyssey Jones, thank you. Odyssey Jones is the guy. Thank you, Steve.
Okay.
Or Steban, I think it is.
I don't watch NXT, so.
Maybe he's. Yeah, well, NXT, that's where all the black people are. So I'm trying to watch it more to learn all these different black folks. So I'm trying to watch more. It's going to be the whole sport in general, from even the other independents to even AEW. They have a lot of black wrestlers that are coming up. So are they eventually going to be pushed out? The white folks, are they going to be the anomaly?
That ain't going to happen.
And can we do stereotypes? Can we do stereotypes about them saying that they're all in the trailer and they, smoking meth or on the highway cooking meth? Can we reverse the stereotypes?
And what can I say? Last point, I guess, from Raw is I'm not all that impressed by the Wyatt Six.
Oh, I hate it. They took way too long. They teased it for seemed like damn near 8 months. And it seems like the only thing that they are, if Bray Wyatt wouldn't have died, none of them would have a job. So I think the nostalgia will wear off very soon. I don't like it. It's like reform when they tried to reform the Four Horsemen, or they had all the different factions of the NWO. The knockoff is never better than the original.
Right.
Sadly, it's rarely happened when it comes to factions like that.
I agree.
Because just like when you think when they retooled the Freebirds, where they brought in Jimmy Jam, Jimmy Garvin, one of your favorites, I think. But they also brought in, do you remember Rocky King, a black wrestler named Rocky King?
Jobber.
And they turned him into, what was his character's name? Fantasia?
I don't remember.
And I think he had white face or makeup and still had that fro Jerry curl that he was known for. So it was like, that was the worst version of the Freebirds. Go back to the original where you had Bam Bam, Terry Gordy, what's the name? Michael Hayes, and then the other little guy, which I can't remember who he was.
Yeah, I don't remember his name, but
that was the best version of him.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah. But I think.
Hold on, before you go, I got to ask you one thing. I've been watching the Olympics, right? And first, I hate the way that Peacock is doing it. Peacock is missing an opportunity. I should be able to click on Peacock and see the women's gymnastics, floor exercise final. I shouldn't have to watch 3 hours of stuff to get to that part somewhere sandwiched in the middle. They're messing it up. But
are you talking about on the Peacock channel, or are you talking about on NBC?
On Peacock, the streaming service. But I'm watching some of these track and field athletes, the male track and field athletes, and I find a lot of these guys sticking their tongues out, when they win or whatever.
Zestily.
And yes, it bothers me. It's so unsettling. I was having the conversation with Mrs. Livingston actually during the Olympic trials when, what's his name, Noah Lyles? Mm-hmm. He won the race and he run around sticking his tongue out. And I was thinking, when did brothers start sticking their tongues out like that? Just period.
Well, they've only used to stick it out when they was the zesty one in the church choir. But I don't know. But maybe we need to get a celebrity on the line, get a hold of our favorite millennial, Raven Mundy, and maybe she can explain it to us.
She might, but yeah, but you noticed it. It's something that you noticed as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and even with Lyles, those have to be the smallest braids I've seen on a man's head. I feel sorry for his mama or girlfriend or the Africans that had to braid them little braids. Their fingertips got to be raw.
Oh, all right. I was just checking.
If it's that tight, I'm just going to do a baby fro until it grows out more. But yeah, I don't know.
And somebody wants you to talk about Jerika wants you to talk about Yvette, Harry Yvette.
I posted on the Friends page a call where Lincoln was talking about some picture that was in the Cincinnati paper, and the lady was Harry, and Lincoln was questioning if it was a dude. And a lady named Lisa called in and said, "Why are you talking about hairy women?" But it was ultimately Yvette. And she was talking about she's hairy and hairy everywhere in the lips, and about if women has hair on her chest that she has a higher libido. And so I wish I knew what year that call was.
And I don't remember. When I saw it, I remember the call, but I have no idea what year that was.
Mm-hmm. But it was hilarious because Lincoln was like, oh, this is you. So then he tried to switch it up a little bit. But yeah, she was like, I'm hairy everywhere. And then when Marquetta said she was furry, I just went back to thinking of Yvette because that's just how my mind works. I'm like, oh Lord, I need a palate cleanser. Let's talk about wrestling. Let's talk about something else.
All right, Brent. Hey, I appreciate your call, sir.
Oh, all right, you take it easy.
All right. Yeah, I saw that. I remember that call, but I don't remember when it was. But yeah, no, and somebody talking about Michael Jordan. No, what Michael Jordan was doing was weird, but it was different than what these guys are doing. Michael Jordan won out celebrating a win by sticking his tongue out. He developed this thing where he stuck his tongue out, which again was weird, but it's not the same thing that these guys are doing, in particular these track and field guys. Blade.
Mazel tov, buddy.
What you say?
How's it going?
It's going good.
Mazel tov. Hey, man. Good show. I got a couple of points.
It's a little
Brent, your genius buddy there. That movie, he did blow that money. That's how he won the bigger pot. So he did blow the money, and then that's how he gained. I guess he was supposed to blow $30 million to gain $300 million.
Right.
So, yeah, because remember the secretary was asking him, "Why are you blowing this money? You so silly, this and that, and whatever." He couldn't tell her to the end.
Mm-hmm.
And he got the money. Yes. The second point, the Adolf thing that someone is bragging about. Steve Miller invented that to divide everybody. Got black people inside of America being racist against white people. Being racist against black people outside of America. It's pretty bad that we are so conscious and we fell for that. And why everybody talking about Jill Stein?
They're just using her, I think, as the example of a third-party candidate.
Yeah, she's just in there to divide the votes. She'll never win. She always running. She'll never win anything. And I don't even think Jill is really serious about it. I think she's just in there to cause chaos.
Okay.
Okay. And you go too hard on Ron. Ron is kind of emotional. You got to take time with him.
I did take time with him. I wasn't going hard. I was really just look. Y'all keep saying stuff. All I did was ask him questions. I never told him he was wrong about anything. I didn't berate him about anything. I told him I didn't believe a few things that he said. But all I really did was ask him questions. And how can that be that difficult?
I think the real thing with Ron, he got hurt on the Democrat side. That's why he's really not down with Trump. But since the Democrat and the liberals hurt him so bad, he got to get with somebody, because on the other side, he still got that bitterness in him because he feels that y'all hurting him, man.
Well, I think I did hear him at one point say that the Democrats did something that kind of turned him bitter.
Yeah, and I think he said dealing with his so-called episode that when nobody helped him down there, that you kind of betrayed him and didn't help him out. So, I think he really wants to come back, but he feels that, people betrayed him, I think it's psychologically because Trump is not going to do nothing for him. And my last point is, I can admit I was wrong. I don't think we're too far down the road yet that your girl didn't get Buttigieg. She got the other liberal.
Okay.
I was saying that she was gonna pick Buttigieg, but I don't think we that down in the bucket yet.
Right. Not yet. Not yet. I agree with you. At some point, you're gonna have two gay dudes, two gay white men married to men, running for president. But I knew that it couldn't happen now. It's too soon.
Yeah, you're kind of smart, man. You are the king of talk. Yeah, because when you got the brothers running and sticking their tongues out and all the braids, we there. They have a good one.
All right. Oh yeah, that just it bothers me to see them dudes running around with their tongue sticking out. Like that's some. I'm sorry, ladies, but that is. I mean, it's not even just necessarily regular women. You don't see, most corporate women, when they have some sort of accomplishment, they run around sticking their tongues out, all that. You don't see that. It's those really, it's a different type of woman that does that. It's a different type of woman that does that. And it bothers me when I see these guys doing it in track and field. I will say that I thoroughly enjoyed Simone Biles and the other girl. I hate to dismiss her like that, but I don't remember her name. Suni Lee. I think that's her name. I'm not sure. I could be wrong. But when they kind of bowed to the Brazilian girl, I liked that. I thought that was kind of cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? We are competitors, and we both want to beat you, but you won. So we gon', you know what I'm saying, kind of bow down to you. I thoroughly enjoyed that. I thought it was nice, good spirited. The spirit is, it's a competition, but we're not enemies. It's a competition, but we're not enemies. I like stuff like that. So I enjoyed that. Let me see, y'all. I think I got to be ready to get out of here. I don't have anything else. Oh, I did tell y'all about the, I got the edger started yesterday. I got the edger started, but it won't stay. So I'm gonna have to pull off the carburetor and try to rebuild it. If I can't rebuild it, I'd probably have to buy a new one. But I'm gonna pull off the carburetor and try to rebuild it, and we'll see what happens. But I at least I got it started, so I know that part is fine. But I don't really know nothing about rebuilding no carburetor. But I know how to take something apart, clean everything, and a lot of times, if something, you can tell how something is supposed to function, and if it ain't fun, maybe the spring on something is broken or something like that. So I am gonna pull it off. I don't know if I feel like getting out there today, but I am gonna pull it off, rebuild it. I'll keep y'all up to date, like y'all really care, but I'll keep y'all up to date. LaDonna says, just get a new one. I hate when people say stuff like that. Why get a new one when I can fix the old one and it'll work just fine? To me, that's like saying, hey, I got this car. Like, oh, but you need new brake pads. Well, why are you putting brake pads on it? Just get a new car. That's foolish. Hey, my stove and, the knob broke on it. I got to go get a new knob. Why get a new knob? Just buy a new stove. Why? Why would you do that? That's a waste of money. Is that how y'all operate? Your car get a flat tire, you just go get a new car. The battery died. I just need a new car. That's how y'all do. That doesn't make sense to me. Not to mention, I enjoy tinkering with stuff. But even if I didn't, that doesn't make sense to me. I remember I've replaced 2 parts on my refrigerator. One was $25, and I don't remember what the other one was. So I should have just went and got a new refrigerator. When my ice maker was acting up, that was what the other thing was. My ice maker was acting up. I took it apart, opened it up, just to find out it was some ice stuck up in there. Chip. Chip the ice away, put it back together. Works perfectly. Ain't had a problem out of it. But I should have just went and got a new refrigerator, right? Hey, come on. Carolyn says, it's 94 degrees outside. Stay your ass in the house. The garage is right there. I don't have to go outside to take the thing off. I don't have to go outside to take the carburetor off. All I really need to do is go in there. I believe it's a screwdriver, but it might be a bolt. And take a couple bolts off, and then I'll have the carburetor in my hand, and I can take it right over to my bench, which is also in the garage, and work on it. Do y'all not have a man? Do y'all not have a man? And to the men who be saying that, are y'all not men? I don't know. When I was coming up, all of the men that I know, worked on stuff. And if something went wrong, they worked on it. If they couldn't figure it out, then they maybe took it to the shop. And then if the person at the shop said it's going to cost them less to buy a new one than to fix the old one, then they bought a new one. That was kind of the process that everything went through. Oh, this ain't working. Well, let me look at it. Oh, that looked like that's broke. Oh, I can fix that. Boom, it's working. Oh, let me look. Oh, I don't really know what's going on. Let me take it to the shop. Oh, yeah, you can do this, and this is going to cost you this much. All right, well, fix it. Or, oh, no, it's going to be too much. It's going to cost you more to fix it than it would to buy a new one. All right, I'll buy a new one. That's the process that you should... That's the process. Not just, oh, something wrong with it. Let me buy a new one. Well, this disposable society, is messing some stuff up. And I'll be wondering, like, did you not have a daddy in the home? And I'm not talking about you, LaDonna, specifically. I'm just saying in general. When I hear people say this, like, did you not have a daddy or a man in the home that worked on stuff? Because to me, that's option number one. You know, do you not see your husband, your man, whatever, working on stuff? That's option number one. And everybody automatically want to, oh, I don't fix stuff. I don't work on stuff. I don't this. I don't that. Come on. That's what y'all teaching these boys that y'all raising. If something go wrong, just buy a new one. You don't have to learn how to fix stuff. Now, granted, some stuff nowadays ain't really fixable. They do make certain stuff. They make stuff that's kind of disposable. They make stuff that's kind of disposable, where you can't fix it. That's true now. But for stuff that you can, like, you know, a carburetor, you take the carburetor off, you take it apart, clean it. If it's a part that's broke, did I ever tell y'all the story of my air conditioner? I don't know if I ever told y'all a story of my air conditioner. I think I did, probably multiple times. We was in the house. Air conditioner went bad. It was an older air conditioner. I wasn't about to go to the store, because this is an older house. So in order to get like central air put in, I would, and it's just not something that I was gonna do at the time. It's something I'm actually thinking about now. But I needed a air conditioner, and I had gone and purchased a few of these little portable air conditioners. As far as I'm concerned, they don't do the job of like a window unit. I needed like a big, I forget how many BTUs that thing is, 15,000 or whatever, BTU air conditioner. I'm big on, I buy used stuff. I buy stuff, scratch and dent stuff. You know, if I can get it at a discount, I will get it at a discount. If I can't find it at a discount, I'll pay full price for it. But, number one, look for it at a discount. I'm looking in the paper, and I see it was in Dayton. It was a 15,000 BTU air conditioner. I priced it. I don't remember what it cost new, but it was, you know, well over $1,000. I think it might have even been over $2,000. Nice unit. I don't remember the name of it. I was about to say Friedrich or something like that, but I don't remember the name. But a well-known brand. A well-known brand. I see this thing. I call the guy. He says it's a new unit. He works for an apartment complex, and they're selling the unit. I knew it was a trick in the game. But again, I'm me. I say I'll come up and look at the unit. Turns the unit on. Unit works beautifully. Blows out nice, cool air. I think I paid like $150 for it. So again, I knew it was some trick in the game. Put the thing in the truck, drive it back home, get it home, put it in the window, turn it on. It runs beautifully for probably about 45 minutes. And then I hear something that sounds like crunching. When you have an appliance running and you hear crunching, that's not a good sign. But something sounded like crunching, and then the best way I could describe the sound was like, boom, 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 boom. It was not a good sound. Cut it off. I open it up. There's a huge fan inside the air conditioner. I don't know nothing about working on no air conditioners, but again, I will tinker with anything. So open up the air conditioner. I see this. It's a huge fan, and a little piece of it is cracked, so that it's no longer equal. Now me, I'm thinking, okay, cool. Some super glue. Put some super glue on it. Let that set. Turn it back on. Start running. It run for maybe a day or two. Then I hear crack, crack, crack. Boom, 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 boom. Turn it off. The super glue was just not strong enough to hold. I'm like, man, daggone it. I call all of these different shops looking for this fan. And they're all telling me this thing is going to be, $700, $800 just for this piece. Like, y'all crazy. Y'all just trying to make money off of me. So I go on to, some of the parts places. And I think, and Mrs. Livingston will remember this exactly, but I think I paid like $25 for that part. Took me about a half hour to take the old one off, put the new one on, put it back together. That thing been running now for about, it's got to be 8, maybe even 10 years. Maybe 8 or maybe 10 years. Been running beautifully, no problems. I think the point of that whole story was, sometimes you got to get your hands dirty. Sometimes you got to get your hands dirty. There is absolutely nothing wrong with putting your hands on something and fixing it. Absolutely nothing wrong with putting your hand. So in theory, I bought like a almost $2,000 air conditioner for $175. My guess is they couldn't figure out how to fix it. They, just figured we'll just get rid of it and, somebody can sell it and keep whatever money you want to make off of it. But I've been staying cool with that $175 for, like I said, it's been at least 8 years. I will get my hands in something to try to fix it any day. Maybe teach your sons that. The art of repairing things is, not as prevalent as it used to be. Brent says that yes, and even though you may not fix the issue, you gain knowledge for your next project. That's right. That's how I got that thing started. I have a chipper, and I left the gas in it over the winter, and it wouldn't start. This was a few years ago, and it wouldn't start. And so I took the little bowl thing off of the bottom, and it was all gummed up and everything. But I didn't know nothing about that, and that's how I figured out, you leave that old gas in here, and you can get in here, and you can clean this out, and then that chipper started and runs beautifully. So that helped me get the edger started. Now, okay, I don't know a lot about fixing, but I'm sure I'll look up the model number. Again, I got YouTube and the internet. I will look up the model number, and there will be either a video breakdown on how to repair this piece of equipment. This is an older edger, but there'll be either a video on how to repair this thing, or there'll be some sort of schematic online for how to fix that carburetor. And then, like I said, if I can't fix it, I'm certain I can go on and order another part. But I really do want to get a new one just because they're much more convenient and all that kind of stuff. But I don't want to not fix it just because it's a part on it that's broken. And I see some of y'all saying, your daughter. I used to try to teach my daughter. I be trying to teach that little baby stuff too. How to fix stuff. The joy of getting in there with your hands and doing stuff, fixing stuff and all that kind of stuff. My daughter never really took to it. She can't say she don't know how to do stuff. Cause like when I would change brakes, I would bring her out. And she would have to sit and watch, and I would explain it to her. And I would even make her do little things like, here, take that off. It's going to be heavy. Just, do this. Unscrew that. All right, that goes there. This is how that goes. Here, now I'm going to do this side. You going to do that side. And I would help her do it. So it's not that she doesn't know how to do it. It's not that she won't know how to do it. She just is not into doing stuff like that. She's not into doing stuff like that. Even though she and I'm trying to put together, we're supposed to be going and doing some archery. So we'll see how that works. But all right, y'all, I got to, Cedric says that carburetor would cost about $20, $25. It come in a day or two. Yeah, if I need one, I know it won't be very expensive. So if I need to buy one, but of course, for me, number one, try to fix it yourself. And then if I need a new one, I'll order it. I mean, I'm edging the grass, so it ain't like, you know what I'm saying? It's time sensitive. So I got a minute. I got a minute. But yeah, y'all enjoy the rest of this day. You know, have a good time. If you are out and about, stay cool, stay hydrated. And if you are out and about, you know I'm getting ready to go because my eyes go to this screen because I got to pull up the thing so that I can go to it. If you are out and about, do me one favor. Be the reason that somebody smiles today. Till next time, I'm out, y'all. Peace.